In this example, we will determine a selling price of an item. The idea of a selling price is that when a store purchases an item from a manufacturer or wholesaler, that payment is known as cost. And as we look in our problem here, we can see we have a cost right here. Now, in order for a store to make a profit, they mark up that cost that they purchase it for. As the consumer, we usually see this as a dollar amount, but stores typically mark up items as a percentage of the cost. And we can see we have a markup right here. And of course, we have a percentage right here. Now, things to remember about percentages is this little symbol here, this percent symbol. I'm just going to write it down here. When we have something like 30%, that percent symbol is a shorthand. What percent means is per 100. So when you see 30%, we're actually saying 30 per 100. And another way to write that as a fraction, that's 30 per 100, or 30 over 100. And this has the decimal equivalent of 0.30. So when we're working with percentages, in order to use a calculator, I have to be able to enter that percentage as a decimal equivalent. Now, the calculator that I have over here, this is a TI-30 calculator. You should be using a scientific calculator. At least your scientific calculator, should have a handful of specific keys, particularly a square key. Here's my square key right here. Or if it doesn't have a square key, it should have a caret key. That's where we could raise a value to a power. You should also have a square root key. That's right here. That's the little one here. You should also have a log key, a logarithm key. And then a key that has an E that I have right here. We're going to utilize all these keys as we progress through this chapter. So anyways, this problem then states, suppose you work in the women's apparel at your local department store. A shipment of blouses arrives from a wholesaler, which are to be marked up 30% of the cost. If one particular type of blouse costs the department store $25, what retail price would you tag these blouses? Now, the formula for a selling price, that's the selling price, should equal to the cost plus the markup. I'm just going to shorthand a lot of those symbols. I'm going to have selling price. I'm going to label it as S. That's going to be equal to the cost, and I'm just going to label it as C. And then plus the markup, which I'll make as a U. So as we read this again, a shipment of blouses arrives from a wholesaler, which are to be marked up 30% of the cost. So the markup, that's U, that's going to be 30% of the cost. So you take 30% and you multiply it to the cost. So we have markup is equal to 30% of the cost. If one particular type of blouse costs the department store $25, what retail price would you tag these blouses? So the cost right here, that's $25. So I'm going to put in the cost of $25 right here, plus the markup. And what's the markup? Well, that's 30% of the $25. So here's my 30% of $25. To determine what 30% of $25 is, I'm going to use my calculator, and you can type it in just as you see it written here. So I'm going to put in 30%, and I'm going to use my parentheses of $25. And that comes out to be $7.50. So this is $7.50. That's what our markup is. So then what is the selling price? What is the retail price? $25 plus $7.50. That's $32.50.